Hi, Stylish here. Imagine you're getting ready for your tabletop RPG game night. You pick your game, Daggerheart, Alien, Nimble, D&D, whatever. Your players make their characters and inevitably they end up on the choose your equipment step. And in most situations it ends up with everyone just stuck in Excel tables. Dreadfully dull. Today I will share with you an idea how to do this better and how to make it more fun. Yeah, today we are going to do something new. So instead of giving your players tables upon tables, we can make an equipment choice part of your story, right? So let's make a story for this. And let's upload a map. Pick a new one. Something new added recently is instead of drag dropping, you can just click. So in here, I'm gonna just take this one. All right. And it will upload the file this way. Let's put some weapons in. There's one thing that I'm experimenting with. So if you're used to dragging, dropping tokens onto your maps, there are like two situations that are possible. One thing is that you have a token of a specific character and with a name, and whenever you drag this character onto your next map, you're expecting, hey, this is going to be the same character, right? So let's say take the token of Joanne. I'm gonna drag this, and because Oracle will recognize, okay, this is exact same token name as it was before. So when I open the card, hey, this is Joanne that I was using before. She already had something like, this is an existing token. Let's just randomize her attributes for a moment and give her some skills. All right, so this is like existing token, right? So if I remove this and go into, okay, Joanne Tucker, drag her again. See, this is the same character already with some inventory and stuff, right? But there will be different situations where I just need to drag a couple of bad guys onto the map or a couple of handguns. And I just want, every time I drag Desert Eagle, I just want another Desert Eagle to appear. So this is where if you put a number at the end of the token, Oracle will assume this is like a, yet another one. So as you can see, there's one Desert Eagle there. I'm gonna drag another one and it's gonna just create a new one. If I drag a third one, it's gonna be yet another one. All right. If I drag Joanne again, it will just move Joanne into the other place. Right. So, and same with the tugs, right? Okay, this is a bad guy. All right. I want another bad guy. And there it is, because it had the number at the end of the name. So this is a hack. I would definitely need to put this into frequently asked questions section somewhere so that people don't get confused. But once you know this is very useful, and I'm using it quite a lot. All right, but I got distracted here. Back to setting up the armory, right? So let's say we're gonna have two Desert Eagles. One will be lying around here, and you need to just turn them into pickable items. And the thing is, I'm adding this new feature that will automatically create some stats for the pickable items. For example, let's say I have a shotgun. Right, so I'm gonna drag a shotgun here, and at first everything new is just a prop, right? It's a decoration. If I want to change this shotgun into like a pickable item, I need to right click, turn into pickable item. And when that happens, I'm teaching Oracle to recognize keywords. So shotgun is a common keyword. So, and this is like other side system. So it has some specific setting and specific damage is expected on the shotgun. So when I turn this into pickable item and now open this, you can see Oracle has recognized, okay, this is a shotgun. This is a specific game system. And the common damage for this one is 4d6 plus 8. So that's the dice roll for this item. So that happens automatically, right? We can also, that should happen with the handgun. So if I do this, yeah, now it's recognized and automatically given you something. Now you can change this because, you know, this can be like, I don't know, modded handgun, and it gives more output, like, right? You change this, Oracle will not, you know, change that anymore. You know, it only happens at the moment when you make the switch from prop into pickable item, right? So we have revolver. This moment when I click the button, now it changed, and Oracle just saw that, hey, there's no damage on this one. What could be the best damage for revolver in this particular system? It will put that in. So that's, and also when I fire this, okay, let's do that. So we're gonna go here with Joanne. Joanne is going to grab this revolver. Let's give her someone to shoot at. All right, start the combat quickly. So now that Joanne has the revolver in her inventory, right, she can use it. Join the fray. All right, we get one action. Okay, and she can now target. Oh yeah, we need to turn this guy into NPC. And now, as you can see, we can just attack him, but the revolver is in the inventory, right? So I can immediately just start shooting, right? And it rolled poorly, but still it rolled 2d10s because that's what we have here. So if we get something else, let's say the shotgun has 4d6, right? So let's get the shotgun, right? Closer, right? Okay. Grab the shotgun. We have the shotgun. Now we can aim for this guy with the shotgun. That will be 4d6 plus 8, and we are rolling 4d6 right away. All right, 20 damage. Okay, plenty damage, but the first die is a 1. That means a miss. At least in this system, that's how it works. So we can give him a little less stress, but hey, let's see some blood. All right, and there we go. Now he got hit. Since he's NPC, so his health is reduced automatically, right? When you shoot NPCs, that can all happen automatically, and saves time for the GM. But you know, if you shoot a player character, you will just get, you know, information in the chat what the role is, and then the player can decide whether to use armor or other stuff to lower the damage or avoid something, you know, use special magic powers, whatever. Anyway, so let's drop those items now back onto the map. Okay, drop this, drop that. The idea here is that you set up your armory, you prepare the weapons with all the damages and everything, but you also, as a GM, make choices, you know, what kind of options do you want to give to your players? Like, you can limit, like, hey, they should not have sniper rifles at all because that will screw up my story. So just don't put sniper rifles in the armory, right? And then you let your players in. They just step in and say, hey, this is the safe house. You can just pick those items. This is what you got. And you don't have time to buy more guns because, you know, like the bad guys are escaping in 1 hour. So you gotta grab what you can and go. And let's imagine this. Your team has just got out of a difficult situation. A mission went wrong. Enemy knew you were coming and you just barely get out of there. You got into the safe house. You have 1 hour to catch up with the bad guy who is escaping from his private airport. So you just need to grab some weapons quickly. There you go. So you walk in. You see there are 2 guys in here. They look at you and they say, okay, so what are you doing here? Weren't you supposed to be somewhere else? Yeah, we were. And the characters just go and you can tell your players like, all right, grab your weapons and, you know, you'll be going. She's gonna grab a handgun. Leo is here also going to grab this revolver, and then I can just pause the game. Okay, that will prevent your players from moving and grabbing anything more. And then you say, suddenly there's a shift. One of the guys say, hey, wait a minute. You turn around and in like a split second you see those 2 guys that were here. They drawing the guns with clear intent of shooting you. You roll initiative, all of you, and we'll see how quickly you react. Let's start the combat right there. Control click. Okay, John got this much, and Leo got 1 action. This guy is on our side. And then as a GM, I'm gonna add the other 2 guys. There we go. Let's start. So Joanne got on the list first. She has 2 actions since this system is borrowing heavily from Nimble. So rolling initiative means you get more or less actions on your first turn, right? Let's unpause and let's get going. So Joanne goes first. She's gonna see, oh shit, like she just grabbed the gun. She still holds it in her hand, so she just can use it to shoot this guy. And that's 9 damage. That was 1 action. All right, another action. She's gonna shoot again. There we go. More shooting. Okay, he got shot. That was her second action. Now we are moving to Leo. Leo is having just 1 action, so he's gonna just shoot. All right. Hey, this guy got shot again. All right, let's go next. Yeah. All right, Leo is next. Arthur, which was on our side, but he didn't get any actions. Gabriel didn't get any actions. Tommy did, and he will actually. Did I say that they had guns already? I did, didn't I? Right, he should be having. Okay, let's clone this one quickly. Yep, yeah, let's say yeah. You already had this one. So now you can use it on the closest guy you have. So yeah, let's just, whoa, that's a good big shot, but Arthur can take it because he's got a ridiculous amount of health, so that shouldn't be that much. Let's make it 4, which is, by the way, I'm thinking modify this so that NPCs automatically get a little bit less health than, you know, playable characters. Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, so he quickly got a shot on Tommy down his stomach, but well, that's all, we go into Joanne. So Joanne is going to, like, you know, take cover. That's gonna be one action, and just keep shooting at this guy. Okay, so let's one more shot. Ah, that's one. That's a miss always. Let's shoot again. All right, and this guy is down. Great. That was last of her actions. Now Leo is going to also take cover, and he's actually, no, he's not going to take cover. He's gonna try to help the other guy. So he's gonna run over. He has like speed of 6. That's regular 30 feet. So he can run as much as over here. He will use another action to just interpose the, you know, kind of push Arthur here to out of the way and step into close combat, and then he's going to brawl this guy down. So Arthur, he will just use one action to get up, and he'll jump here. He'll try to fix things by hitting this guy as well. He's very strong. Okay, they take them down. that went fast. Now you see, hey, 2 guys that were here. This place is definitely compromised. So that's like a cool way to start the story. You need to get out of there fast. You can still grab some weapons and just, or you can search those guys and, you know, just keep going. All right, but that's like, you know, modern day. Let's switch gears for a moment there. Okay, revealed players. This is visible. Yeah, they already been there. All the tokens we added were like added. All the NPCs here, all the pickable items, everything is now listed for this story. But let's go into another story like Daggerheart, for example. So let's make them up over here. Maybe I'll use something like, hey, equipment shop. All right, let's move it here. Okay, and you know, we can do this the very same way. So let's say we have Mark. We have Mark here being the shop owner. And you know, that same thing works for any other system. So this is a Daggerheart, right? So but in Daggerheart they also have inventory. So if Mark decides to go postal over everybody, let's say he goes close here and he clicks to grab the throwing axe. Got it. And now let's give him someone to put Lucian over here. So Lucian is there, and Mark, let's start the combat there. Okay, Mark rolls for, takes the spotlight as first, because this is Daggerheart, so we don't roll for initiative, it just takes the spotlight. Aims on Lucian, and now he has 2 weapons. So the throwing axe he just grabbed, now he can use it. Instead of this, let's use finesse. Now we have weapons. We can just start throwing, you know, duality dice. Oh, check this out. That's a crit. We can roll damage. That's 1 plus 2, 3 damage. The point is, we can also put different weapons over here, and we can make them pickable. And once we make them pickable, we can prepare the whole shop with all kinds of different magical items. They can have like descriptions with magical properties, wherever that needs to be. Player characters can just walk towards this, and you know, Lucian can grab the pistol. So if he tries to attack, he will roll the 20 because he's an NPC. Right, so he will roll, shoot, yes, 13, 13 is a hit because Mark has 10 evasion, right? But no damage has been done. But if Lucian drops the gun and the same gun goes to Mark, and Mark will then take over the spotlight, right? He has the gun, all right, and Mark will point to Lucian. That will roll 2d12s, right? Because he's a character and he can roll with hope. All right, and good for him because he got a hope. All right. So all this works for fantasy as well, and pretty much any other system. You can set up like armory rooms, shops, weapon shops, blacksmiths, whatever you're using, and prepare the items you want your players to have. Of course, this will not work all the time. Like, sometimes you just pick whatever you want from the entire book, and they will just pick something, so they can just go into their character sheet and drop in whatever stats they want. But if they say, hey, you know what, I want this flintlock pistol, you just happen to have a flintlock pistol handy, right? You can quickly drop this in, right click, turn into pickable item, and if you're lucky, that means for Daggerheart already a flintlock pistol is a recognizable keyword, and therefore you get the dice roll automatically. If not, look it up in the book or come up with something you consider reasonable, and then you can also, hey, let's let it have 5 bullets. All right, and then you can count it down. So all right, anyway, hey, why not potions, right? So potions can also have a dice roll, and maybe it is like a big bottle of healing potion, and you can have like 3 uses in this one, right? So let's say Mark can pick up the healing potion, right? And now Mark has it over here, and every time Mark wants to use it, he can just, open that card. He can roll from here to d4. I used that healing potion already. I want this to, have 1 less charge. All right, and that kind of stays with you here. So, yep, but still, the Oracle remembers that this potion has these stats, so fewer uses left. So healing potions, pretty much any other items, you can just decide on your own if what the dots are. Just put this, hey, maybe you want to have durability on the weapons, and every time somebody critically misses, the durability goes down. That's something. Someone might want to play like a survival game where weapons break. So, you can count down, hey, this can be an ammo and this can be a durability, and you can just count this down. That will not work for Magic Axe, but, this is just a stupid example. So I hope you get this idea of making armories and having fun with that. It's also quite cool when that happens, like mid-game. Maybe an NPC gets hit, and he suddenly drops an item from his inventory, and then the player can quickly go and grab that pistol and start shooting somebody else, and maybe they use an action to do that or something. So all this is on the table. I mean, you can you can use that, and afterwards, if there's too many bullet holes everywhere and blood, you can just remove the decoration, here, and there you go. So, hope you have as much fun with it as I am, and have a good time. Bye.